and the driving force behind this conference to welcome you all to this 35th annual conference.
Dignitaries on the stage, Ms. Chaitali Panmai, Principal Chief Commissioner of Income Tax, Karnataka and Goa region, past presidents of Karnataka State Chartered Accountant Association, my colleagues in the Executive Committee, senior chartered accountants, and my fellow professionals. A very warm welcome to you all to the 35th KSCAA Annual Conference. When we were designing this conference in the drawing room, we were always consuming on one part, which is what is the theme we should keep. While many of the thoughts came up, the one which stuck to us was order and chaos. Now this is very interesting because One, we are all moving towards order. That is something which is more formal, which is more desiring, which is more fruitful. While what we stay now is chaotic. So the two concepts which came to us was, while we move from chaos to order is a journey, but chaos itself is a driving factor for us to move ahead. So these are the two sides of the same coin, and that is also the reason why all the programs which is structured are based upon this concept of chaos. For example, even the technology which comes in, whenever you see it the first time, it is very chaotic. You feel what will happen because ChatGPT is there around the corner. If you see that, you're really worried whether we will exist after some time. But that chaos will turn into order if you rightly use it. And these type of conferences will enable us to take us to that order as well. Madam, I come from a world which we call true and fair. So there is two coins again there, two sides to it. The true is absolute, which is perfect. Fair is very judgmental and value-based. Now, value-based can be very perception-driven, but we are all combined by something called as standards, which is a framework which is given so that we all have a common standards of deriving the value. Now, while we give this true and fair, we are always sandwiched between the department which says its own value of fair and our value of fair, which is different. Now, that is the middle path which we take. But now that is the profession we are, and we tend to continue, and we would probably help the government also in the tax collections in moving forward from there. Some interesting facts about KSCAA are, while we were doing this conference, we did a book called as Coffee Table Book of the Past Presidents. Some of the very interesting facts which came there was, the Karnataka State Chartered Accountant was never known as Karnataka. It was known as Mysore State Chartered Accountant Association. It was named into Karnataka in late 70s and 80s. And our members are 3,700, but technically we serve to more than 17,000 members because there is no differentiation for us between members of KSC and non-members of KSCAA. So technically our members are around 17,000. And our members are across the country. Today we have got members from Bombay, Jaipur, we have got from Delhi, we have got from Chennai, all across. Rather, we have got one international member from Melbourne as well. And that is to the credit, without unsolicited, they become member of our association. Now, there is one question which always there in the mind when the institute stays, why is KSCAA relevant? And this is something which I thought this is the right occasion for us to answer. While institute has a regulatory body, association also has a duty to perform for a welfare of the chartered accountants. Rather, today is the day we need to think about the national association. While we are looking at state, we need to have a national association, a national congregation of chartered accountants where we can voice, where we can put across to the concerns, because there is no single body to represent us independently and impartially. Dear friends, the two-day conferences will host some of the extreme interesting events which my Vice President, the Chairman of the conference, will brief. But please bide some of the stalls and some of the technology products which they are displaying for chartered accountants. The stalls are very interesting. Please do stay a visit. They are quite interesting them as well. I thought I'll stop here because there are dignitaries who would like to speak. But I remember a small story which said a man was sentenced to death sentence. And while what is his last wish, somebody asked, he said, I want to speak to my economics professor. So economic professor was very overwhelmed. He said, while the last wish you had your wife, son, kids, why did you choose me? He said, sir, when you speak for 5 minutes, it looks like you speak for 15 minutes. That's the maximum optimization I can take. I hope I am not that economic professor here. Enjoy the session. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for opening the conference through your positive words and for explaining the motive and theme of the conference. Everyone must be wondering why the theme is order and chaos and not order to chaos. I think you must have got your answer now. I now request our conference chairman and KSCAA Vice President, CA Sujata ji, to address this august gathering and give a brief overview of this two-day conference.
Good morning. I am delighted to welcome all the gatherings here, the guest of honor, the speakers, my dear professional colleagues, senior members, and past presidents. This event has come to reality with the help of the culmination of efforts of more than 100 chartered accountants with our team KSCAA. We have galaxy of more than 40 speakers who have come across the country, right from Bangalore, right from Delhi, Mumbai, Cochin, Hyderabad, Chennai, and of course, Namma Bengaluru. Let me just take you through the overview of the conference. To begin with, we would be releasing the souvenir. There would be 3 books. One is our souvenir, and second is something very unique this year, which is the coffee table book, which is going to be a compilation of memory of all our past presidents. It has got about more than 25 past presidents, compilation of their records, achievements, and whatnot. And also we have a book on RTI, which would be released very soon. Coming to the next session, we have panel discussion and technical sessions. Panel discussion is basically to ignite your mind. The first panel discussion would be today in the first half, is on business fraud and extent of accountability for auditors. And in the second half, we have on the burning issue of direct taxes. Tomorrow, we have another 2 technical sessions on panel discussions, one on GST and other one in the first half on fintech. Coming to the technical presentation, we have so carefully designed. I should give credit to my team. We thought that when it comes to delivering good service, we are extremely good as chartered accountants. Whereas when it comes to negotiation or pricing, I think a lot more to learn. Keeping that in mind, we have a session on the science and art of negotiation. And also we have another important session, which is going to be on the new trend of taxation. We are slowly getting away from tax havens. So this new concept would be on global minimum taxation, which would be delivered by CA Rohit Kumar. Then we have something called as very special, which has been very popularly well received by our own members, called as internal transformation session, which would be delivered by 3 eminent chartered accountants who have found their inner calling. Yes, we all of us have inner callings, but how many of us have got the guts to pursue our inner calling? So we have identified and specially designed that program. One would be today, would be delivered by C.A. Vittal Rangan, who's a violinist. Other two would be on tomorrow in the first half and second half. Then coming to the next session, special session, which is going to be tomorrow at 9:45 a.m. In KSCA, we believe that spirituality is also one area where we have to develop for overall development of our growth in the profession. In view of that, we are so proud and we are blessed for the consent of our additional Solicitor General, who's coming from New Delhi to address the gathering, which is going to be tomorrow at 9:45. Then another important highlight of today's conference is that first time we are introducing a session called as Ask an Expert. Many of us have doubts, correct, in our own respective areas of practice, but we are not able to get the best out of it in few cases in conferences. Keeping that in mind, we have designed a Ask an Expert series where the delegates can post your questions, meet the experts one-to-one, get their issues clarified. And now that stressful times, we have to give equal importance to health. So what is in plate for me? Keeping that in mind, we have partnered with Manipal hospitals who have come forward to give a free blood test camp, which would be hosted outside this venue. You can go give your blood test at 7:30 a.m. in the morning in empty stomach. So I request all participants to give equal importance for your health as well. So come at 7:30, finish your blood test, join us for breakfast. And then, is it only about work and technology, technical sessions? No, we have something more to add. We have entertainment session, which is going to be delivered by something very special. It is Beat Gurus. It is basically about African percussion, instrumental orchestra. They are going to use more than 20 instruments, right from tabla, xylophone, whatever you name it, they are going to bring. They are going to entertain all of us. And also we have a cultural session which is going to be performed by our own members. With this, with all our efforts, we have made sure that you have good things to take back home. Thank you. Happy conferencing.
Thank you for giving us an idea as to what to look forward to in these 2 days, ma'am. It is our custom of formally inaugurating the event by lighting the lamp. An eradication of ignorance is not possible by anything else than by rise of knowledge. Lighting the lamp symbolizes triumph of knowledge over ignorance. We now request our dignitaries on the dais to join for lighting the lamp.
Here we draw your attention to the theme of this conference, order and chaos. Our endeavor of this conference is to bring order from the chaos and light from the darkness. We hope that the light of knowledge stay lit in our hearts and radiate its bright rays in the years ahead.
We request all the delegates to kindly raise for the lighting the lamp occasion. I now request our chief guest Chaitali Panme to present a memento to Kumari Stuti Raghavendra Nadigar, who invoked God's blessings for us.
It's my honor to introduce chief guest for this 35th KSCAA annual conference, Ms. Chaitali Panmai. Ms. Chaitali Panmai, IRS, has taken over the charge of Principal Commissioner of Income Tax, Karnataka and Goa region on 11th August 2022. She is a 1987 batch IRS officer. Ms. Panmai worked in various capacities in the field of assessments, audit, appeals, international taxation, etc. She worked across the country in Delhi, Agra, Shillong, and Mumbai. She attended the 52nd course at National Defense College in New Delhi for 11 months, which provided a holistic view of contemporary economic and political scenarios and related experts, with particular emphasis on security issues. She worked as Chief Vigilance Officer in Engineering Projects India Limited, Department of Heavy Industry, New Delhi on deputation from the year 2014 to 2017. While being posted in the Director of Exams in New Delhi, she was instrumental in overhauling the old examination pattern of exam for ITO and ITI from subjective pattern to new objective pattern, which was a system driven and led to quick declaration of results as well as uniformity in evaluation. Ms. Panmai was also part of committee set up to revamp the induction training for officers trainees of the IRS. As part of the committee, she had made various recommendations for imparting the skills required for quality taxpayer services and incorporating training on emergent areas like information technology and operations. Ms. Panmai was posted in Mumbai as Chief Commissioner of Income Tax. Upon promotion, she is posted as Principal Commissioner of Income Tax, Karnataka and Goa region. Madam, I once again welcome you for the 35th Annual KSCAA Conference. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for introducing the chief guest to us. We have our proud leaders who are representing all of us at SIRC here with us today. It is our immense pleasure to show our respect and gratitude for all the great work that you have planned for us by this felicitation.
I request our tenacious lady power, CA Geeta AB, Vice Chairperson of SIRC of ICAI. And I must tell you, she is the first lady Vice Chairperson of SIRC. We request you to kindly come on to the dais, ma'am. A huge round of applause for the leaders who are representing us at SIRC.
to felicitate our chief guest for the day.
We request the dignitary. We request all the dignitaries on the dais and off the dais to kindly come on to the dais. A huge round of applause for our chief guest, Ms. Chaitali Panme. We request all the past presidents of KSCAA to call upon the chief guest, Ms. Chaitali Panme, to speak a few words addressing this august gathering.